guys, so today I'm just going to be making another card using sister stamps. I'm going to be using the sister stamp Yoshimi today. And what happened is I just got a new iPad mini 3, so I'm using it to record as well as to edit my videos today. So because of that reason, I'm now able to go ahead and I'm able to speed up my videos, so that's going to be a lot easier, and I actually really like the people's videos when they're able to speed them up. So I'm really happy that I have this new feature now, and I'm really excited to have my new iPad mini 3 now. Now also I'm going ahead and I'm using, this is again sister stamp Yoshimi. I'm just stamping it onto some white cardstock that's cut at 5.5 by 4, I believe. And then also I'm going to go ahead, I'm taking my Spectrum Noirs here, and that's my zipper pouch from Spectrum Noir. It's a really good zipper pouch. It's supposed to hold 36 markers, which I'm not exactly sure how many I have, but I think I have a little bit more, and it's really good to hold them all. Now as you see here, I just use FS3 to color the skin tone. I always use that to color my skin tone. And then now I have FS6, and that is for, I use that for the blush. You can also use PP1, and that will as well work for the blush. Now I'm going to be showing you my hair. Also, the really neat thing is that I'm able to zoom in with my iPad camera now on videos. I was not able to zoom before on my videos with my old iPad, so because of that reason, this really worked a lot better, and I'm able to show you those close flickering motions, and I'm able to show you all that I do for my real coloring and stuff. So as you see here, this is again, I'm just using the Spectrum Noir and the True Black. This is one of the colors that I switched out the chisel tip for my brush nib, and I really like it, and it seems to work really well. Now you can also use your Copic markers or any kind of other markers that you use today, and I really like using Spectrum Noirs or Copics just because they blend really well and they're really easy to use, and I think your projects turn out a lot nicer when you use alcohol markers, and that's just my preference. But you can also use Prismacolor pencils or watercolor pencils or distress inks or distress markers, and it should work fine as well. So I'm using IG8 here, and I'm just going ahead and flickering it in, making it a little bit farther than the original black, and that's just gonna give dimension, and it's gonna make it look like a real hair glare in a shiny hair. So that's how it'll look. Now this hair didn't turn out as good as some of my other ones turned out, but I think it turned out okay. Every hair that you're gonna do, or every image that you're gonna do, is gonna turn out a little bit different. Certain colors of hair are easy to color. I know for sure brown. I pretty much only do brown and black. Occasionally I'll do a different colored hair, but brown and black are really the only two that I do. But I know for sure that brown is a lot easier to color. So if you're a beginner, I definitely would tell you to go ahead and make brown hair first and then go on to black hair. So as you saw there, I just colored it, and I ended up just coloring, and that was my hair. So now as you see here, I'm going ahead and inking my stamp up in VersaFine Onyx Black, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it onto this scratch piece of origami paper. Now this is something really easy to make your dresses have pattern paper, and this is origami paper, so it's really nice and easy, and it makes it look Japanese. Now at the same time, I do like shading, so I'm going to show you that even though I cut it out of pattern paper, I still go to the next step and go ahead and use my Spectrum Noirs to color the image or to color the dress part, even when it's already cut out of pattern paper. Now as you see here, I'm using my spring-loaded scissors here. It's a really easy scissors to use. I know Jennifer McGuire uses the Fisker spring-loaded scissors. This one is just a cheaper brand, and it tends to work okay. Now I'm just cutting out the image. Now I did forget to cut out the little, at the top of the dress, she does have a little place where her neck shows, and I did not cut that out, but in the end it turned out okay. But in the future, you do want to consider that and make sure that you do cut out that little area where there's the skin color. And I just went ahead and this is the two-way glue pen, and I went ahead and put some of that adhesive down where I wasn't able to put the double or the dot runner, and then it stuck really well. Now, as you see here, I took some different Spectrum Noirs. I was deciding what gray I want to start off with. So I first tried IG2, and then that was too light, so I tried IG4. And I probably should have stopped at IG4 as being my darkest shade. But what happened is I ended up taking the darker color, which was IG6, and it turned out a little bit darker than I wanted, but at the same time I did ask some of my friends and stuff what they thought, and they did like it dark. So it depends, every person's taste turns out a little bit different, but I thought I should have stopped there at the IG4, but it turned out okay, and I do like the card a lot. So as you see here, I'm taking IG6. I went ahead and colored the sash and as well as the obi in the back, and then I'm going ahead and taking it and coloring, doing the shading with the IG6, and then I'm going to take IG4 and blend that color out. And then after that, it takes a little bit of effort to blend that IG6 out just because it's a little bit darker. If I had IG5, I know it would be easier to color, but with not having IG5, the IG4 works perfectly fine. Now also, when you're dealing with the origami paper, it tends to not... It doesn't really blend very well on origami paper. It seems to just seep into the color, and then it doesn't tend to blend very well. So I'm just telling you that, so for your future reference. Now as you see here, I'm taking, that's IG6 marker, I have the chisel side open. I'm taking the IG4 and just touching the tip of the IG6 marker and then blending it out. So it's gonna make a shade that I don't have, which is about IG5, and that's gonna make it blend a little bit nicer. Now everything else, it tended to blend okay. I'm taking IG2 one more time, coloring it over the entire image, and that's pretty much my finish. Now also, I forgot to color that. I wanted that obi a little bit darker on the back as well as the sash, and then I also I forgot that little piece of hair that right up by her cheek, so I went ahead and took the black and went ahead and colored that all in. Now also, I went ahead and I'm taking IG4 and I'm actually going over the entire dress one more time to tone it down a little bit more, just because that her right arm it's really covered in that darker color. So because of that reason, I had to go over the whole thing one more time. Now this is GB6, and what happens is I have all my essential colors in the zipper pouch. So it just has my blacks, my skin tones, my browns, and all those kind of neutral colors. Now also, I have I bought the bright set from Spectrum Noir, the 24 pack, and I actually switched them out, and I put together in that set all of the color range that I want for all my most coloring, and that's what I did, and it turned out that's how I use that bright set. So anyway though, I just went ahead and all my rainbow colors are in that pouch or in that set case, so I use that to color my main or my colorful images. Now as you see here, some of them got left out, and I had this GB10, GB5, GB6 in this other zipper pouch just because of the reason that I don't use them that often. So but it worked and matched the pattern paper perfectly for this image, so I was really surprised. So I went ahead and used OR2, but then it was a little bit too bright, so I toned it down with GB6, and that really made the perfect orange color to match. And then I wanted to do some shading, but again, I did not have that color set out of my 24 colors. So because of that reason, I just used IG4, the gray, and it made a nice shadow for that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and make a little shadow for her. I use IG2, and that you can go ahead and use IG1 to blend it out, but I tend not to even need to use IG1, and you can go even darker and use IG4. I have done that as well, but the IG2, to me, it seems to be okay, so that's what I mainly use. And then after that was my finish of my coloring. Then I'm going ahead and taking this thanks die from Impression Ups or from Tailored Expressions, and what happened is, because I got the new iPad, what happened is I recorded a craft haul video from one of my with my old iPad, and then when we went to the Apple store, my dad inherited my old iPad, but he wanted it to be 100%. he wanted it to erase the entire memory. So because of that reason, I lost that video of my craft haul video. But this is one of the dies that I went to my local scrapbooking store, and after my entire purchase, then he gave me this die for free. So I'm happy that I got to use it on this card. So I went ahead and die cut it out of white and as well as out of the origami paper again. And I'm going ahead and taking this wide double-sided tape, and I'm going ahead and just cutting it long enough to fit across the letters. And what that's going to do is it's going to make it sticky from the front. So I'm able to take my white die cut letters and be able to position them right into this die cut, and it's called die cut inlays is the technique. And this, I really like doing this technique, and it worked really well with this particular die. Now also I'm going to go ahead and also other things that I got in that haul video that I was not able to show you is I did get a couple more sets of the distress inks. I got the set 11 as well as the set 12, and I also got just some different things that some of it I'm going to be using today. Like I got this Clear Snap opalescent clear embossing powder, and I showed in that haul video, but again it got deleted. But what happened was I went ahead, and this is Versamark that I'm inking it up in. But what happened was I thought that it wasn't shimmery enough, so I took 1 scoop of the Glitter Ritz Ultra Fine. I took the Glitter Ritz Warm Highlight, which is a microfine glitter, and I took 1 of those spoonfuls the spoonful that I'm using for this embossing powder here, and then I went ahead and added that into the embossing powder, and you can see how much more sparkly that is. It's a microfine glitter again, so it's really fine, and it matches really well to that sparkle clear embossing powder. So it worked really well for me, and I do have a Recollections embossing powder that is tends to have blue and purple tones, so it's like a cool glitter embossing powder. And this one, I use a warm highlight glitter from Elizabeth from Glitter Ritz, and so this one's definitely a warm one, and it really worked really well, and I'm really happy. I'm going to be using this sparkle embossing powder I know on a lot of my cards, so you can see how shimmery it is right there. Now also after this, to match the shimmer, I went ahead and taking my Wink Stella clear and going ahead and taking it over and putting it over all this, the bows as well as the fans, and that's just gonna make it a little bit stand out a little bit more and a little bit more shimmery. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere this entire panel using some foam adhesive onto this orange piece of this orange card, and this is my finished card. So please go over to Sister Stamps. They're really good company. I really like all their stamp sets. They come out with new sets every month on the 1st of the month, so make sure that you go ahead and check them out and go over to they just have I told you before that they have a new YouTube page. So go ahead and go over to their YouTube page, and you can see all the different projects that they make with their new stamps, as well as you can go over to their blog as well, and they have giveaways every month of their new stamp sets, and you can go ahead and maybe win one of those stamp sets. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, please leave your comments below, and please again go over to Sister Stamps and check them out because they have really good products. So thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.